Every night in my dream, I see you, I feel you. That is how I know we'll go on. Far across the distance and spaces between us, you have come to show you go on. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that my heart will go on. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
Welcome to the lab. I am your host, Joshua Diaz. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to be here. I think that was Celine Dion herself. It's hard to say who that. It was good though. It was nice tone. It is so good to be here. Good to see you. How is everybody? It is Wednesday. Take a look here. February 17th, 6:36 on the West Coast. Hope everybody had a wonderful day heading into the weekend. Tomorrow's Friday for you weekend warriors. And for that, you can be happy. Unless you have to work on the weekends, then it's just every other day. It's just another day. I remember having to work on the weekends. It was never that fun, you know. Let's see. There's my friend. Oh, look, we got a new member in the house. Lisa, welcome to the lab, for being a lab rat. Oh, check this out. I got my coffee cup. I hope I don't spill it. It's pretty cool. Good to be here. Good to be here. Good to see you. How's everybody doing? Tonight, we focus on two different stories. We have one really from the other day that I we'll talk about right now. Anyway, like I said, I hope everybody is doing good. If you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe. That means everything to us here at the lab. If you could just do that, forever grateful. And thank you for all the members, new members, old members. It is fantastic. Yeah, and if you would like to support the channel by heading over to the merch store and getting some merch, it is a really cool way to support the channel and the growth of the channel as we move forward. And you can get yourself some official lab gear. And thank you for everybody who has done that. It really means a lot. And like I said, in all the support that we get, that I get here, I can't thank you enough for the support. All kinds of support. It is overwhelming. And I want to just thank you guys before we get into the show tonight, because it doesn't go unnoticed, and it doesn't, I know, it just means a lot to me. And so I really, truly, truly do uh, appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Now, as we talked about before we get into I guess you would say the main story tonight, uh, I'm going to lead off with a story that we have covered and that we covered just the other day, of Codi Bigsby. And now the Hampton police have expanded the timeline back to November for tips on Codi. Remember, this was the third weekend going in. So they thought that it was 3 weeks. Now, with new information that they have gathered, now they are going all the way back to November. He could have been missing since November. And what a tragic blow that is. It is terrible. So that is the new release today on Codi Bigsby. His father remains in custody for child neglect, but we're going all the way back to November. And if you live near Buckrow Point, apartments, and if you have any cameras, and if you have seen Codi in the past 3 months, now it's 3 months, not 3 weeks, 3 months, call 1-800-CALL-FBI and online tips at p3tips.com. And if you find any evidence of anything, the number to call there is 757-727-6111. So yes, Codi could have been missing now since November. And that is unfortunate. That is, it's a major blow to the investigation. Typically you have more hope. It's a mess. So keep this little man in your mind and your hearts, and we can just pray for a good outcome. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say about it. It's tragic, to say the least. Now, switching gears here, I wanted to talk about, obviously, people are here. We're going to talk about the Summer Wells case, because I've hit a point in this case where I have been extremely critical of Dawn and Candus and the situation, the way that they've handled this situation of Summer missing. And every day that we don't get answers, the frustration builds and builds, and here we go again. Well, now Dawn's in jail and he can't really control what Candus is up to. God bless her for being out there and saying these things. But I hope that the FBI listened up the other day when she was talking on another show, because what she said was unbelievable. And not only was it unbelievable, but I say it's unbelievable, but it is believable. It's believable because this is how this goes. This is how this goes. And I'm going to break this down, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm not going to hold back, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about it, because that's what I do. I'm not going to be particularly gentle about it. I'm not going to tiptoe around the situation. Why should we? Why should we? This is what was said by Candus on a live just a couple days ago. I have to put Summer to the side for the boys. They're still here and still living. Mother of missing Summer Wells, now missing for 8 months. I have to put Summer to the side for the boys. They're still here and still living. Now, what exactly do you mean by this? How many ways could we actually take this? How many ways can you interpret this? Well, I count maybe one, maybe two at the most, maybe. But what this tells me, and by the way, Candace, if you have to put Summer to the side for the boys, which you don't have, uh, you got to focus on what? What are you focusing on? You got big vacation plans. It's been 8 months and your daughter's missing. So you say this, and this kind of stuff is the stuff that ends up in trials. The fact that she said this, that she has to put Summer to the side. But guess what, Candace? Guess who's not putting Summer to the side? Well, that's going to be us. You just wish this whole thing would just go away. She wants it to just go away, and she wants to continue living her life because she has no problem just pushing things to the side, like people going missing, like her sister. And, look at Mary Chris and the Maya Millette situation. Mary Chris, the sister of Maya, who to this day searches every weekend for her sister. I mean, these are just different people. I don't know if Candace looked back then. She's not looking now. She doesn't care. It doesn't matter to her, even though it should. But I'll tell you what this statement tells me. I mean, she basically said that Summer is deceased. In not so many words. And I don't want to hear she's not that educated. She's not that good with words. You don't have to be, Shakespeare to know that what you said is incriminating. What you said is disgusting and filthy. And you have to put Summer to the side. Why would you have to do that? Why would you have to put her to the side? Nobody. Big plans, Candace? What are you up to? What do you got going on? Wow. And so Diana P says she didn't mean it that way. Well, I don't know how many ways. I don't know how many ways you can say it. I don't know how many ways you can say it. And if she's planning on getting those boys back, good luck to her. I doubt that it's going to happen. It is unbelievable. When I talk to Brandy O'Neill, the mother of Michael Vaughn, missing now for over 200 days, and I used a past tense when speaking about Michael, and she corrected me immediately. Yeah. And Teresa says right here, what she said was not normal for a mother of a missing child. Not only is it not normal, it's incriminating. It is incriminating what she said. What she basically just said was that she is done with this situation because she's got other things to worry about. But does she really have other things to worry about? No, not really. She doesn't have any kids in her custody, luckily. And for us to sit here and pretend that what she just said wasn't one of the biggest clues in this case is a joke. Because what she just said was highly incriminating. It infers that she has knowledge that her daughter is no longer alive and that she's basically done with this situation. And let me remind you what the situation is. Her 5-year-old daughter went missing June 15th, 2021. Very little clues since. Trying to there can't be a way that she meant it as that's no somebody says, oh, that's not what she meant. Well, what'd she mean? What exactly did she mean? Because as far as I'm concerned, she's telling all of us that and I hope that this statement has reached law enforcement. I hope that this one is pinned up on a board. And if there is a trial, that this is a headline. Because this is not a situation that you can put to the side. That's not. Especially as the mother of the missing child. You can't just put it to the side. You've done nothing but put it to the side from the beginning. I get it. There's people out there that will say to Candus, hang in there. This must be so tough for you. I hope everything will be okay. Blah, blah, blah. And she's done nothing to help herself this entire time. She's done nothing. She's done nothing. Show me something that she has done besides falling asleep in church or screaming at Don while he's doing an interview. Show me what she's done and I'll lay off. If you can point out one little thing, I'll leave her alone. You don't talk about somebody that you love like that. You don't talk about your little child like that. And the fact that, and I don't know, this happened a couple days ago, and I really hope, and I saw that some other people have picked up on this, and she deserves every bit of flack that she's going to get, every bit of criticism she's earned, Dawn as well. Everything that the situation that they've put themselves in is on them, not on us. And I won't take any blame for it. I got a comment the other day, not that I really care about those negative comments at all, but I got a comment the other day that says, I hope that, whatever case you cover next, that you won't drag the family through the mud like you have Dawn and Candus. Well, dude, if I drug them through the mud, it's because they were the ones that made the field muddy. You can't drag somebody through the mud if they're not the ones that put the mud there. I refuse to take any responsibility for the situation at hand, and me being critical of them, I feel is completely appropriate. And she wants to put it to the side, and she is going to put it to the side. And she is going to put it to the side. Make no mistake about it. She's already doing it. What they did was made a mockery of this entire situation. Always have. They always will. I mean, it all goes all the way back to when they pulled that disgusting prank, quote unquote prank, on Mary. I'll never forget that. I'll never forget the anger that it caused, and the, you know, just throwing all these things. Let's mess with these people instead of going and looking for their daughter. So I guess when that was happening, Candus had decided that that wasn't enough, that she hadn't put her daughter to the side, and her playing a prank on on people was the appropriate response for her missing child. And we just get it one right after the other. Don says there's no evidence. Don says he has 7 alibis. Don says Candus is going down. Now Candus says, well, Don's not here. And how am I going to go down? I want to put this to the side. I got to put Summer to the side. My boys are still alive. My boys are still alive. What? Your boys are still alive? No, you don't need to focus on them. They're the ones that are alive. They're the ones that are actually being taken care of. You don't need to focus on that. What you need to focus on, Candus, is you need to focus on telling law enforcement everything that you know, because you haven't. And the fact that she continues to clam up about this situation is an insult to everybody's intelligence. I know she knows more. You know she knows more. Law enforcement knows she knows more. She knows she knows more. Don knows. The boys know. We all know. We all know, right? Everybody knows. But this is how much she actually cares about her daughter. She's ready to move on. And I bet they wish that all of us would just do the same thing. And it will fade. And we will go into a lull unless something major happens very soon. And I don't know when we'll see an arrest. And I don't know when we'll see indictments. And I don't know when we'll see new information. I believe that this case will be solved at some point. I think, I hope. But when? Because that's what we're going to go into now is it happens in all these cases. Look at Orrin and Orson West. Where's the coverage for them? Well, looks like we're at a standstill. And yet again, we hear the things like this case is nowhere close to being cold. Twice now, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson of the Hawkins County Sheriff Department has said that this case is nowhere near cold. That's all well and good. And I hope that's the case. And I think that's the case. But Candus wants it to be ice cold. Candus wants it to be ice cold. And she's ready to move on, folks. And she wants you to be ready to move on too. It's time to move on, she says. It's time to put it to the side because her boys are still alive. And she needs to do it for her boys, not for anybody else. I've never heard a more asinine statement by anybody regarding their child that is missing nor confirmed dead or alive and claims that she was abducted. That's what Candus claims, that she's abducted, that somebody has her or somebody did something with her, not her, somebody else. And if she knows that for certain, she wouldn't be saying that she needs to put it to the side. The reason she says that it needs to be put to the side is because she knows we're not going to find Summer alive. And she knows that when we find Summer and whatever where she is, and I pray every day that we do, she knows the status of this young girl. Vet Girl says, Candus, when was the last time you spoke to law enforcement? That's a great question. That's a great question. And if she needs money, she can get off her ass and go get a job.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
That's the rule. No F's and stuff. You guys know the rules. Come on now.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Yeah, that's the rule. But she can get off her earth and go get a job.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
That's what she needs to do. But she won't. She will continue to be a beggar. She will continue to hide behind the people who are going to support her ridiculous behavior. Yeah, that's the rule here. That's the rule we're trying to live by over here.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, Candus has a lot to take care of. Candus has a lot on her plate, apparently. And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Well, I'm not going to search for Summer anymore. I'm going to put it to the side because my boys are still alive. I mean, that's really the long and short of it. That's really what she said. Nobody made that up. It came right out of her mouth, and I'm not even willing to play it on here. Quoting it was bad enough, but I'm not going to play it on here. And I'm telling you what, if she came on here and said that to me, that interview would have been over immediately. Done. We're not talking anymore. What did you just say? Can you repeat that for me, ma'am? That conversation would have ended right then and there, and it should have. And that conversation should have went right to the FBI, and I hope it has. And if it hasn't, I'll do it. I'll do it. Because I think that that was one of the most insane things that you could say about your daughter. Lex says conversation almost went silent when she said that. Almost isn't good enough. That conversation should have been cut off. We're done talking here. Are you absolutely kidding me? Jackie says, I can't understand why people fall for the...
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Listen up, people. I think they sold her and don't care. And I think they sold her and don't care if she's dead or not. Well, look, you know, we all have different theories. I guess that's possible, but I don't know. I'm sure FBI and TBI is listening. I certainly hope so. But how about we just make sure that they get the memo? Let's just make sure that they know. How's that? Because I'm telling you guys, and I really feel as though you can't hammer this point home enough, is that these kind of things, I'm telling you right now, these kind of things are what end up in court as evidence. What she just said is evidence. What she just said was evidence. Everybody says, they say, oh, well, I'm sure they have it. Well, let's just be real sure. Let's just be real sure that they have it. Let's make sure they know about it more than once. This isn't some willy-nilly statement off the cuffs when she's drunk. And I don't know if she was drunk or not. She seems like she's always drunk. Melissa says, and thank you for the $9.99. Goodwill lets prisoners do their community service at their stores. She can work in the back sorting other people's underwear. I mean, she could, she won't, but you're right. She Mary Weaver, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Yes, it is evidence. Statements are evidence. You know how many times in a trial somebody before the trial has started or being questioned by police, if the police feel that they're incriminating themselves while they're talking or they've made incriminating statements, they will use it. They will use it, and it's going to get used. And if you don't think that TBI has that, by now, I would hope that they do, but we'll just double check on that. Because what was said was awful. TM Smith says, I'd have to quit if she showed up at my job. Well, she can't get a job at Walmart, and most anybody can get a job at Walmart, but I think she's banned from Walmart for screaming at the kids. And then when they told her to stop, she threatened to blow the place up. So that happened. You can't threaten to blow places up. Marie, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. It's always appreciated. Thank you. And Lisa as well. Thank you guys very much. Why ain't she out looking for Summer? Because she knows what happened to her. Don't be sending money to Candus. Yeah, she knows what happened to her, and she's probably the one that did it. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. That's just speculation. Jury would love to hear her statement. Absolutely, they would. Can you imagine that statement being read in open court while she's on trial for Summer? Can you imagine? The boys don't have an attorney or a lawyer. I don't know. All I know about the boys is that they are in a far better place. They are in a far better place than with Candus. And that's a fact. And anybody who thinks otherwise is foolish. She doesn't deserve her kids back. She doesn't deserve a dog, a hamster, a mouse, the rats that live inside her house. And don't give rats a bad name. Where's some lab rats over here? But any creature, any living organism that's around her needs to run as fast as possible, because it just so happens that people that are close to Candus just end up disappearing, never to be seen again, and her not caring or giving a
don't say any F's and stuff
about where she is. I would run and hide. Sheila says, what makes you think she's ever going to get her boys back? If CPS gives them back, they should be hung out to dry. 110%. 110%. GSD says, I believe she should be in jail while Dawn is. They both should be fixed. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Not a C fan, I get it, but overloading them takes away from the case. Well, I don't know if giving them some audio is overloading them. Is that what you're referring to? Because by the way, there's a host of different charges that Candus could be brought up on right now. None of them really even would have to do with Summer, but I know for a fact that that Hunter has said that she gave him alcohol, and that is contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and Lord knows what else they were doing. Summer's legacy will be saving her brothers from their parents. Yes. That will be the silver lining. And I agree. Why isn't she in jail? I don't know. I hope that there's some bigger plan in the works, but just file this under important dumb things that Candus has said during this entire sideshow. I don't understand the thought process of a mother here. That girl says, I think the boys will not be returned until the parents are cleared from wrongdoing. I don't think that those boys are ever going back. I just don't see that happening, because it sounded like they were going to be taken even before Summer went missing. And that just seemed to be the catalyst of the entire situation. It reached a boiling point, and yes, while they're being looked at in this, they definitely won't be getting those kids back. But remember, there are things that she's supposed to do to be able to get her children back. Do we even think that she is capable of that? I certainly don't. I certainly do not think that she's capable in any way, shape, or form of taking care of anybody, including herself. And I hate to be mean and say these things, but it is the truth. It's how I feel. I don't mean disrespect. I don't mean to be mean to somebody that, has had a rough life, but you know what? I've had a rough life too. So get over it. It's time to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and get to finding your daughter. I swear, if I lost a dog and it had been 8 months, I'd still be looking for that dog. I'd still be putting up posters. This is your daughter, your flesh and blood. And you say a statement like that? What am I supposed to think about that? What are we supposed to think about that? What are we supposed to think about that? She has not started one thing on her CPS case plan. Color me surprised. Color me surprised. Sweet Tea says, no way. She's lazy. She doesn't care for her home, hygiene, children, anything. She is sorry. Look at your child's face and think about what she and Dawn have said. Exactly. If you want to talk about some of the worst statements, you guys, this goes all the way. You got to understand, okay? What was going on before the spotlight reached Dawn and Candus in that home was debauchery. It was a mess. It was horrible. The things that the kids had to endure, the fighting, the abuse, the malnourishment, the lack of doctor care. Summer was excited to get ready to go to school, and she's missing this entire time at school. She should be in school with everybody else. She should be able to have had friends over. She should have been able to go to friends' houses. She should have been able to do all the things a little kid wants to do. Play with her toys, play with her friends. And Candus is ready to put Summer to the side, which, by the way, doesn't seem like a new practice. Now, does it? It seems like that young Summer has been put to the side a lot in her life, especially by you, Candus. And I know you watch the show, and I'm sure you'll be mad and good. Whatever. I'm mad too. I'm not kidding. When I read that, when I read about it on somebody's community page, and I read that statement, and I physically got a knot in my stomach. I went, oh, what? And then instead of going on the air, I was like, you know what? I got to process this. I don't even know I know what to think about it. I know what I want to say about it, but this is a clean show.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
And so I had to give myself a little time, because I would have had to been reminded to
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But I felt this actual physical, oh. Linda Wills says, I just hope the boys getting much love and attention that they deserve. Lord help all the children of Tennessee. Seems as if they all need better representation. A state that actually cares about them. I'm confused by the laws, but I am willing to not that I have a choice, and I respect law enforcement to the extreme. I always have, I always will. And I'm not being critical, because I know that these investigations take a long time. But for me personally, how I feel, how you feel, I would love to see her locked up on something. But that's not my job. I wish she was locked up on something. But that's not for me to decide. And I can wish and pray and hope and blah, 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 blah. But that's not for me. But I'll tell you what is something that I'm willing to do. And that is tell you to please listen to what she said. And tell me that you can support her. Because believe it or not, maybe not in this chat, and maybe there are some people in this chat that support her. I just don't see how you could at this point. I really, truly don't. And I've looked for every way. And I have talked to so many different people about it, and I go, what if we're wrong? What if they had nothing to do with it? And then I hear things like this, and I go, how could they possibly not have anything to do with it with a statement like that? With these statements, I have 7 alibis. Candus has none. She's going down. I got to put Summer to the side because my boys are here and they're alive. How in the world can you support something like that? And I'm telling you what, if she is charged with anything that involves Summer's disappearance or possibly Summer's death, I hope she spends the rest of her life in prison. And I hope nobody sends her anything for commissary. And I really, really just hope imagine, seriously though, just think about it. Now you got to really, I mean, this is kind of deep. So you think that I don't want to just say this surface level stuff. Think along here with me. Okay. You have children that have been taken from you. One of your kids is missing 8 months now. 8 months. In the grand scheme of life, 8 months is nothing. In the grand scheme of your child being missing, nothing confirmed, either way, dead or alive, you're positive that that your child has been abducted. You're positive that your child has been abducted. And what? You're going to make a statement. You're going to make a statement that says, what? I got to move. Let's just, I have to put Summer to the side for the boys. They're still here and living. Mother of missing Summer Wells. 8 months missing. It's unheard of. Nobody talks like that. That's missing a child. Unless you're the most calloused person in the world with no heart and you don't care about your kids. I'm getting fired up, so I got to remind myself.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
And I don't understand how you could take this stance. Now you could say, look, I'm working to get my boys back and I'm desperately looking for Summer. It's not it's not one or the other. And then you pick the ones that are alive because maybe one day you can take care of them. That's what you're saying, is that Summer's dead. Your kids are alive. It's time to move on. And I'm going to try and get my boys back because they're still alive and Summer's not. That's exactly what you're saying, Candus. That's exactly what you're saying. And there's no way in the world that you can correct that statement that you just said. There's nothing that you can say that will correct that statement. Nothing. You can't say I didn't mean it that way. You can't say it was a slip because that's almost a freaking paragraph.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
You cannot walk that one back. Good luck unringing that bell. The flare gun has been shot. Tell me, like, I just want, besides her, going to a prayer vigil wearing a Mom Patrol shirt, which I find to be the most ironic shirt in the world. And I hate it. I hate that shirt. And I'll tell you why. Because this is what I used to think. And I, way back when this case first started going, and I was learning about Don and Candus more and more. Way back. Look, the statement was made, I'm not here to promote other channels, but she was on a channel and it was said, and if, whatever, I don't care. I'm just not going to promote other channels. I'm just not going to do it. So, it was said. It was said. Trust me. I'm not making it up. If you want to hear it, I'm sure it wouldn't take very long for you to type in exactly those words into YouTube. Let me see here. Let me see. Was there somebody in? Yeah, was there? I don't know. I don't know. I know that I would have questioned. I would have questioned that statement in a major way. Um, it was wrong. It was disgusting. It was putrid. But it was said. And there's no doubt. I heard it with my own 2 ears. And I wish I didn't, because I had been in a zone of talking about other cases and different things, which, is always my goal is, but, obviously this case has been so much a part of everything. When I heard this and I heard it the night it happened, and or the day it happened, and I wanted to say something about it, and I had to just really, really, really pull that back. I had to really calm down. Candus Wells, disingenuous, willy-nilly, Johnny come lately. But I really had to take a step back and think. And then after all that, what I tried to do was find an excuse for the way that she said it. Can you believe that? And I was going, there has to be a reason that she said this. Oh, well, yeah, it's just not a good reason. It's just not a good reason. And Debbie Foster, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that, and it helps the channel immensely, and keeps us growing. It very, very, thank you very much. Parody Patty, and thank you as well for being here and supporting the channel. It means a lot. Yeah, it really was my heart talking, because I was trying to think, what exactly did she mean something else by that? And then finally I go, there's nothing else to mean. I mean, it's just it's one of the craziest things I've ever heard somebody say. He says, yeah, I tried to justify it too, but there's no justification after analysis and putting myself in that situation. There's no other way to take that statement. You got to understand that. You got to understand that. And if there is somebody out there that feels that they can justify, if they feel, that they can justify that. Josh, if I could pick a son, I'd pick you. Your integrity is a treasure. I appreciate that. I eat a lot. I don't know if that's a problem. It's not a problem for me, but be careful what you wish for. But I truly do appreciate that. That is a very nice thing for you to say. That being said, I like frozen pizzas and pickles on my sandwiches. And First Media interview, Dawn had her dead already. 110%, Thomas. Thomas, you hit the nail on the head with a hammer, my friend. It goes all the way back to that first interview on the side of that stupid hill. Hey, Josh. I tried my hardest to feel remorse, but nope, nothing. Yeah, there's no, what do you feel? There's no remorse. There's nothing to, she has no remorse. Why should we have remorse for her? Can somebody please tell me if that was the full sentence? Yeah, I didn't take it out of context. It's what she said. What do you think she's going to say after that, Moon? What do you think she's going to say after that? You think she's going to say, I have to put Summer to the side for the boys. They're still here and living. But I really love Summer, but I have to put her to the side still because my boys are alive. Well, what can she say after that? But I keep hope for Summer, but I got to put her to the side. It could be a half sentence. There's nothing that she can say after that. There's nothing that she can say after that.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
That's going to justify what she said. There's just nothing that she can say. Come on now. What's she going to say? No, I want Josh to be my son. Yeah, trust me, you don't. You don't. There's nothing that she can say. That's 100% fact. There is nothing that she can say after that statement. Trust me, I've tried. I've tried to plug in a million different things. I've tried to, well, maybe she was going there. No, that's not what she was doing. That's not what she was doing at all. She said the boys are still living in foster care. Yeah, they're still living, and she puts her to the side. That's right. Which means that she doesn't care or have any intention of looking for Candus anymore. Or Candus, sorry, for Summer anymore, because she wants to push it to the side. Push it to the side. It is all in the beginning. And if you have any information into the Summer Wells case, 1-800-TBI find. She says she's fixing the house. I don't believe that either. Well, yeah, I don't believe that either. And then, so this is just one of literally 7,000 different things that these people have said and done. You know, I mean, it's one of literally 7,000 things that both of them. Debbie Foster, thank you so much for the super sticker, super chat. That's very generous of you. I appreciate it very much. That is very nice. I think she wanted to push it to the side from day one. I agree with you. I think that she wanted to push it to the side from day one as well. And that's sick because that is what she wanted. That's what she's always wanted. She would prefer. Dawn had to literally convince her to go on Dr. Phil. She didn't want to do that. But you would think that when your child is missing, if somebody like Dr. Phil is going to give you 2 hours or whatever it was he gave them of nationally televised prime time, whatever, daytime TV, that she would have rode a bike to California if she had to. You understand that, right? She should have done anything in her power to try to get there and not walk off when these experts or whoever, the behavioral panel, Dr. Phil, you know, whatever. Come on. Yes, it wasn't helping her. It's helping some. That's why I truly believe that whatever happened to her was on her watch. I think that Don is complacent in it, and I think he knows more than what he said. But I think that Candus is the culprit. I think whatever happened to Summer lies at Candus's feet. Ain't no reason to fix the house before she fixes herself. She's got a lot of things to fix. But you know what really bothers me about this is that there are people out there like Brandy O'Neill who are looking for their child, Michael Vaughn, and do interview after interview of respectful interviews, stands up with law enforcement, cries herself to sleep every night. Every day is a wreck. And she just wants her child home, and she is begging. And it's been 6 months or so, and she's not pushing Michael to the side. No, she's not pushing Michael to the side. Michael is her main focus while she is taking care of her children that she has in her home. And Candus gets all this unwanted coverage. And the only reason I'm here talking about her today is to sling as much crap as I can, because I'm really frustrated with what she said. Okay, and push to the side, even if, okay, so say she didn't say the second part where, still living in foster care, whatever the heck.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
She said, I got to put Summer to the side. And you can put that in little brackets, and you can make it a run-on sentence. Throw it in a paragraph somewhere. You can do whatever you want with it. Make it a message in a bottle. Throw it into the ocean. Somebody finds it. There's no other way to interpret that. In, I don't know how many languages there are in the world, probably 5,000. It would translate the same in all languages. Put it to the side. Your missing daughter. And I got to tell you, in Arkansas says anyone with information is urged to contact the Fruitland Police Department at 208-642-6006, extension 0, or contact the department through their tip line at findmichael@fruitland.org. Yes, please. And we will be covering updates on that once a week. We will keep that in the front of our minds, because Michael deserves it. And Not a Candus sympathizer has been a member for 3 whole months now. Thank you so much for that. If this were true and Candus knows Summer is dead, it explains why The grandmother never helped out or stayed. Yeah. I mean, there's just no reason for her to, right? Exactly, Mimi. I chatted with Greg Hartley, and I believe that is the man from the behavioral panel. I chatted with Greg Hartley the day Dawn's interview aired. He agreed in capital letters about Candus is responsible, whether guilty knowledge or child abuse, homicide, and Dawn is covering. I mean, it sounds about right to me. It sounds about right to me. And I don't, like I said, I couldn't tell you if it's on purpose, if it was an accident. All I know is that something happened on Candus's watch. When I say that, she admits it. She was in the basement because, little kids like to go and hang out in little crappy, cold, damp, smelly basements by themselves. That's, most little kids I know love to be alone in basements. Stupidest thing I ever heard. Oh yeah, she was hanging out in the basement while everybody else was, everywhere else. I mean, what little kid's gonna go hang out in that disgusting, smelly basement? Nobody's gonna choose to do that, especially since she was an outside girl, right? I mean, that's what they always say. Oh, she loved to be outside. She loved to be outside, but she, on a nice day, she was gonna go and hang out in the basement, in the dark, in the cold, the damp. Smart. Oh no, she's just hanging out in the basement. The only reason that she said the basement was because that is where her plausible deniability comes in. She can't see the basement, and that's the only place that she could go missing from that Candus could claim that she was watching her to the best of her ability, and that someone came up through that locked door and took her right out of there with I don't know, 7 people on that property. I mean, does that make sense to anybody? That if that's the theory that we're going to go with, so Summer goes and hangs out in the dark basement in the middle of the day because that's normal for little kids to want to do, and the boys are not paying attention. But it's not. By the way, it's not their job to watch their little sister. That's your job as a mother, but you struggle to do that. And then you say that, oh, the boys said that she went down in the basement. And I'm telling you, if that's a lie, and I'm pretty sure it is, the fact that you threw your children in there and tried to bridge that gap of your innocence by using statements that they made is disgusting. It's about as dishonorable as you can get. Leave the kids out of it and take the responsibility. It sounds like they wanted to put it on them for the whole time. Dom was like, well, they never, they don't pay attention to anything. And I always said something bad was going to happen because my wife doesn't watch my daughter the way that he should, or that she should. Blah, 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 blah. Alrighty, Patty, thank you so much for becoming a member. So he's so this dummy, Dawn, is saying, I left my daughter with somebody completely irresponsible, and now I have to cover up what happened because she's not a good mom. And, in the past, she pulled a shotgun on CPS workers because that's normal to do. Yeah, let's sympathize with her. Let's sympathize with Candus. Well, I won't. I never will. And if it comes out that she had nothing to do with this, and once again, I find that highly unlikely, I still won't apologize for all the things I said because she still treated her terribly. Treated her like an S word that comes to mind.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
It's been hard not to say any F's and stuff during this, because it does get, it's frustrating knowing that the answers are right there, but yet people are so selfish, and she is so selfish, and Dawn is so selfish that they won't even honor their daughter. They won't even honor their daughter and give her the decency that she deserves, the human dignity that she deserves, that we all deserve, that everybody deserves, even Dawn and Candus, not so much anymore. It's just a bad day. Debbie, we do our best over here. We got a rule. Everybody knows what the rule is. What's the rule in the chat, people?
Don't say any F's and stuff.
That's the rule. Chances are 50-50 that Summer was abducted from the home. Candus' words tell me she knows and has knowledge where Summer is. Give it up, Candus. You're done. I agree. Yes, exactly, Josh. They had the oldest son convinced it's his fault. Dawn said himself. Candus told him, the son said, it wasn't my fault. Why would you make your child feel it's his fault for what happened? Because they don't care about their kids. There's the flare right there. I hope you're right. And that's another thing. Okay, so say one of her scumbag people that she runs around in the circle with. Say that she runs around in the circle with these scumbags, and one of them got the, disgusting idea to kidnap her. It's still her fault for bringing scumbags around the house. That's still her fault by putting her daughter in harm's way. You can't put your child in harm's way and expect that everything will just be okay. Children are soft targets. They're preyed upon daily. And if you don't have the decency, the wherewithal, the parental instincts to protect that child, then you don't deserve those children. And then you go as far to say, well, the boys weren't paying attention. They're always on their phones. They're always playing the Minecraft. I call it Minecraft. That's what I call it. I call it Minecraft. But now I'm in jail for drinking and driving because I'm a loser. In my opinion, the way that Dawn and Candus fight on YouTube, the question is, who hit her last? That's the one that has the upper hand in this great. I would just love to see Pied Piper. You're right, 100% correct. There's a lot of Pied Pipers out there. Get off my property. Sick. It's sick. And I hope and pray justice will be served. And by the way, that is why I care about this case, because now this is just me, and I want to say this, and I've said it before, and I truly do hope that I'm wrong and a miracle happens, but I don't believe that she's with us anymore, just based on the fact that law enforcement in November, 3 months ago, was searching in the woods for any clues or evidence or her body. was like, oh, they were looking for evidence. Well, why would they be looking for evidence in the woods? That wouldn't, why wouldn't they? Why would they look there? Well, probably because they're operating under the impression that that's where she could be. And I hope that's not the case. And I pray that that's not the case. But I tell you, the one thing that keeps me on this and keeps me on these people is that I want justice to be served. And I will bang on their door figuratively. Get off my property. I don't want to get a flare shot at me. But I don't, I've tried. I've really tried to put myself in their position. And I just can't do it. I can't wrap my head around any of it because none of it makes sense anymore. They don't care what happened to her. They don't care. Integrity at its finest, folks. Thank you for being you. Well, I do appreciate you saying that. I don't know. I don't think, I really do appreciate that. And I try my hardest to have integrity and speak for victims. And it seems as though Summer can't speak for herself right now. But I just want it to be over. I just want to just tell the truth. Tell the truth. Do the honorable thing. I beg every time I do this stream, I plead for this. And nobody ever they don't obviously take me up on it. But if you hear this, Candus, do the honorable thing and sacrifice your freedom in exchange for the dignity that your daughter deserves. Do right by her for the first time ever. Do right by her. You owe that to her. Take a look at Brandy O'Neill. My deepest sympathies to her. And she says, I don't know what else I can do. I feel like I'm not doing enough. But she is doing enough. She's doing everything that she possibly can. But that's how she should feel because she's a loving mother. She's a loving mother. 1-800-TBI find. Candus, end it today. Please do. I don't feel that way, Zycron. I really don't feel that way. I'm not wasting my breath. I'm putting it out there in the ether. I'm putting it out there because I have a responsibility and a duty, and I have made it my business to try to be a mouthpiece for this young lady, for young Summer, in a respectable way where I won't step on law enforcement's toes. I won't show up at the bottom of their hill. But I will get up in my quote unquote bully pulpit, if that's what you want to call it, and call out what needs to be called out in exchange for somebody somewhere, maybe on the off chance that she could find it in her heart to do the right thing for the first time ever. And it's not a waste of breath to me. I understand what you're saying. I don't feel that way, though. But I do understand what you're saying. Love you, B. Michael will come home. She wants it more than anything. She wants it more than anything. And Adult Protective Services, call 833-401-0832 24/7 for concerns about adult abuse, neglect, or exploitation. Thank you so much for that, Arkansas. Appreciate you being here. The Joy Catcher says, can you imagine if she does have answers and the brothers continue to search for their sister? I can't imagine a more messed up situation. I can't imagine a more it is a joke what she has done. It is just absolutely. As do I. And keep them in your thoughts and prayers. And once again, if you haven't, and Trixie says, be a mother for once, Candus, you had to have some kind of love for your daughter. Please make it right. We can only try to appeal to the human side. I don't think the video was June 15th either. This has all been constructed story to cover up whatever they did to their daughter. Candus lies so much, you really can't believe any of them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced that it was the day either, but I'm not really that overly focused on that because that is something that law enforcement would be able to pin down pretty easy. They have to have. I am under the impression. Well, when I say, nobody's told me this, but I'm under the impression that they have evidence and that they're still trying to fit pieces together. It keeps, I mean, what else do we have? We have to hold on to that. But I'll tell you, the fact that this lady, Candus, said this, that she wants to put Summer to the side. You can do both. You can do both. And link for Michael Vaughn mom interview. Yes. And go share that, please. Get it out there. And if you have any information regarding Michael, please contact Fruitland Police, 208-642-6006, or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Exactly. Law enforcement is working on building a case, an airtight case, and that takes time. Yes, it does. I have faith, LE. I do too. I do. I have faith. I really do. I believe with all my heart that this case will be solved and that the person responsible or people responsible for this will pay that price. And I'm excited for justice in whatever shape that comes in. Well, over here, the lab, we try to keep it classy because,
Don't say any F's and stuff.
right? We're trying our best. Trying our best. Sure. I could buy that too. I could buy that too. And I hope I'm right too. And I wanted to thank you guys again. And I want to show this one more time, that young Codi Bigsby, the Hampton Police, have expanded their timeline to November for tips on Codi Bigsby. And there's the information right there. If you have any information, call 1-800-CALL-FBI, online at p3tips.com. And if you find any evidence, 757-727-6111. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the super chats, super stickers, the memberships, the subscribers, the liking, the sharing, the just being here in the chat. Comment in the video. How do you feel, or comment below? How do you feel about what Candus said? And do you think that she's the one responsible with that guilty knowledge? Thanks again for being here. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. This has been The Lab.